Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to GCPA Live. It is Thursday night, May 28th, and we're excited tonight to go back in time a couple of years ago. We did Crazy for You, a wonderful, wonderful show that featured the music of Gershwin. We got to feature the choreography of Susan Stroman, and we had a wonderful cast, some of which are here with us tonight to talk about that experience. So without further ado, let's go ahead and find out who's with us here tonight. So first of all, we got Kira.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. So Kira, remind everybody what role you played in Crazy for You, and you've actually graduated. So what are you up to these days?
Yeah, I was Patsy. I was one of the showgirls. And I'm about to head into my junior year of getting my BFA in musical theater at Long Island University Post in New York. Yeah, that's what's going on.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking some time out and coming back and sharing some stories with us. Look forward to hearing some of your escapades throughout the course of the show. Next up, we have Alex.
Hi.
Alex, how are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. So Alex, remind everybody what role you played in Crazy for You.
I played Pete, one of the cowboys. Yeah.
and you're still in school. You're getting ready to getting ready for college. So what is it that you're going to study when you head off to college?
Musical theater.
All right. So this is a good thing to talk about then, right?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Thanks, Alex. Happy to have you here tonight. Next up, we have Hope.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's wonderful to see you tonight.
Oh, you too.
So Hope, remind us what role it was that you played, and you too are an alum. So what are you up to these days?
Okay, so I was a showgirl. My name was Mitzi, and I was also Polly's understudy. And nowadays I am a teaching artist at GCPA and the stage manager occasionally. Yeah, and I'm working on, I decided to take a couple years in between high school and college to audition and be at GCPA, and yeah, going good.
And we're so happy that you did. You're always a part of the family, but you've become even deeper into that family because of the work that you're doing with our younger students. So we really appreciate that. We love having you around. And thanks for taking some time with us tonight to talk.
Of course. I'm so excited. Oh,
it's definitely never leave.
She's made that very clear several times.
Excellent. Thanks, Hope. Next up, we have Bryce.
Hey, Paul.
Bryce, how you doing, bud?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. So Bryce, remind everybody, words are not my friend tonight for whatever reason. I don't know why. Remind everybody what role it was you played, and as an alum, what are you up to these days?
I played Bella Zangler, and I also understudied Bobby. And right now, I'm just trying to stay home, do my part, and I'm about to go into my third year at Webster as a BFA acting major.
All right, excellent. So still in the neighborhood. You didn't go very far.
Nope, you can never leave St. Louis.
Yeah, that's a great program over there, and we're excited to have you here tonight, and know that you're close by because we get to see you every once in a while, which is great.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. Next up, we have Olivia.
Hi.
Hello, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. So Olivia, remind everybody what role it is that you played.
So in Crazy for You, I played Polly.
And you of course, you're still in high school. You're working towards college. What lies in your future?
I will be majoring in musical theater in college.
All right, excellent. So something that's good to be thinking about right now as we go through our conversation about Crazy for You, because there's a lot of song and dance.
Yeah.
Excellent. We're so glad to have you here tonight, Olivia. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, we have Sean. You are muted, my friend.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Sean. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too.
So remind everybody what role it was that you played and what are you up to these days?
I played Bobby, and it was blast. I just finished my sophomore year at the Chicago College of Performing Arts, and yeah, I'm just trying to do my part, stay safe, stay healthy.
Yeah. It's, and thank you for doing that. And everybody here, I see everybody is in their home. They're doing what they can to stay safe and keep everybody in the community healthy. So thank you for that. And we look forward to hearing some stories from you here tonight. And I know you've got a few. And there's Beckett. Silly Sean. So let's go ahead and start first with Alex, Kira, and Hope. So you all had featured ensemble roles in this show as two of the chorus girls, as one of the cowboys. The ensemble tracks in Crazy for You are really heavy. They can be very exhausting because there's so much involved with them. So tell us about what you did to stay physically healthy throughout the course of this process. Kira, let's start with you.
I was really, at that time, I think I wasn't really good at getting enough sleep. And so as we kept getting further in the process, that started to catch up with me. And so that was something I focused on toward the end of, was like getting enough sleep, because that was one of the biggest things for me at that time. Packing healthy snacks, packing food with a lot of protein, stretching, but working specifically on stretching out my feet and like rolling for my feet, because all the tapping and the heels started to get really hard on them. So just keeping up a routine with certain things to keep it all going.
Yeah, and that's and like you said there, it's important to have that routine and know what that looks like for you and your body, because everybody's body is a little bit different. And you even shared there that you learned something about yourself in regards to the amount of sleep that you need in order to keep your body healthy. So Hope, how about yourself? What did you do to stay healthy?
I ate a lot of food. I remember that. And I drank a lot of water. A lot of water. Because, oh my gosh, there was just we were constantly moving backstage, whether it be a quick change or a 10-minute tap number. And I had never done that difficult of choreography and like such a crammed show. And I guess, I don't know, I feel like I really thrive during that stuff because I love like going nonstop. So it was kind of like being able to stay in that motion, like for those 3 months of just like nonstop rehearsals, and then during the show, like that was like me staying healthy, was like getting that that exercise mentally and physically, like whether it be in rehearsal or outside of rehearsal and stuff like that. It really, I noticed, like Kira said, a lot of things about my body and like the way that I dance and the way that I sustain myself, that I was like, oh, I better start doing a little bit more to keep up my energy and things like that. But yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you, Susan Stroman. 10-minute tap numbers.
10-minute tap numbers. And
killer leg muscles.
So it sounds like you found yourself getting into a nice rhythm over the course of the rehearsal process over those 3 months, and that you started to thrive through that rhythm.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. So you were living what Polly talks about in the musical, and having rhythm. I got rhythm.
Who could ask for anything more?
So Alex, how about you? What are some of the things that you did to keep yourself healthy throughout this process?
One of the main things I remember was like going into the very first rehearsal and starting with all the dance. It was just completely overwhelming. Like not specifically the steps, but just getting all of it through. So my biggest thing was like going over the dances, not to like remember it entirely, but for stamina, because exhausted, like you don't want to get exhausted on stage because like you could pass out or just it's not good. So I remember like especially Slap That Bass, me and Jane would always run our stuff because we're like, okay, we gotta get in this because if we're tired, it's not gonna look good and we're not gonna feel good doing it.
Yeah, that's a really, really great thing to bring up is in regards to that stamina. You know, we can keep our bodies healthy. We can be doing cardio. We can be doing workouts in order to keep our bodies healthy. But when there are certain shows, there are certain things that we do that just takes an extra level. And Crazy for You and the choreo and Crazy for You was one of those things. And so learning what that meant to build that stamina for yourself. And it sounded like you too found what that meant for you. And you were working with your dance partner there, Jane, to make sure that particularly Slap That Bass.
Yeah.
That too was one of the longer, I think there were 2 or 3 like 10-minute numbers in this show. and of course what you all are talking about here are things that go beyond just this show. They're things that we learn that we can use in shows that we move into in the future. You know, so shows you've done in college, shows that you'll do professionally, and it's just it teaches us good things in order to keep our body healthy throughout anything that we're doing. So Jack,
Yes,
the choreo. Hope you do.
Yes, I could probably do it.
I remember a little bit.
Maybe.
Some of it. I could. There's moments that I think are just going to be stuck in my body forever.
Yeah, like I remember
thing where you like go back and forth. I'll just go around my house and like that little like brain tease type thing. I'll just do that around my house when I get bored.
Oh yeah, like the feet. One of those, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The downs, one of the downstage.
Yeah, the wax.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember I got Rhythm and Slap That Bass the most because we've done those more recently too for like AFL and Raise the Curtain. So those are a little more stuck in my head, but.
Yeah, there are definitely things that we do as performers that they just get ingrained in our muscle memory. And once they're stuck, they never go. So gang, thanks so much for sharing that. What I'd like to do now is talk with Bryce and Sean, because the two of you played a couple of roles where you had a big vaudevillian sketch that was written in. Ken Ludwig added this sketch where your characters are dressed the same, you're both inebriated, and you mirror one another. And this scene lasts, you know, we talk about the dance numbers that last like 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes. This scene was about a 10-minute scene, and it was almost entirely silent with all of the mirroring that was going on. So tell us what it was like to put that scene together, and then what it was like to be able to perform that night after night.
It was so much fun. Like the process of when we started with just those stale hot dog buns, it was just so. It's such a great memory for me because it was one of those moments where the work really felt like play, and we really were able to together we're able to make something that's really funny and that we like a lot and was ourselves, and it was such a blast.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, it was just playing the whole time that we were in the rehearsal room. And like, once we did find that rhythm and we were like, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen each time. Like, we were able to tweak it a little bit more. And like, just, I could never look Sean right in the eye during it because I knew that one of us was going to break.
Really? If it was a mustache on a bun or something.
Yeah, that's right. One of the nights, your mustache kept wanting to fall off.
I think it was a mustache.
Oh man,
just gone.
So you mentioned that we found what the sequence was going to be. But then you also mentioned that in that we continue to tweak and we continue to find that. So do you remember any of those specific moments? Because Ken gave us a really great rundown of this is what needs to happen. But as you two were working through it, you found little things to add to what Ken had written in order to continue to tell the story. Do you remember any of those little moments that you created?
There was like something we did when we like sat down in the chairs the first time, and it was always like a different vocal response every time. Like, here we go. Every time we sit down. That's like the main thing that I remember, and the bottle trick in the song that we didn't get until opening.
Yeah, I could never catch it. Could never do it. I remember when we were. It was the part. It was like at the very beginning when you're behind the bar and I'm in front of it, and it was like you would say like hello or something, and it was just so funny, and like it was like such a really great moment because we got to play outside of being like in the mirror where it was just like, how could they not see each other yet? And it was so much fun. It was just
one of the moments that I remember from that was when you're chewing, and you have to swallow at the same time.
One of us is just chewing forever, waiting.
The first few times when we took way too big of a bite of bread, and it was just so much in our mouth.
I think that first time, I think Sean, you got to a place where you're just like, I don't have enough saliva to consume all of this.
Oh yeah,
yes, I think I saw the picture of that, like taken in the wings of me mid-fall, like off the chair.
Trying to run and catch him.
Oh, that was so much fun to put together, and I think what really brought it to life was the fact that you both, like you mentioned, you were working, but you found so much play, and it felt like play. And because you were having fun playing with that, it just drew the audience in even more because we could feel that energy. That it wasn't work. It wasn't I have to be mirroring the other person. It was I'm just in this moment and we're going to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what drew me in every night as I got to watch it. So thanks so much for really creating a very memorable moment in a show that normally is remembered for the choreography, which it absolutely deserves. But this gave a moment where people could really walk away with some of the comedic vaudevillian acting that was put into this as well. I gave you cred. Stephanie's going to remind me about that later, I think.
Yeah, you'll never get to that.
Thank you, Paul, for giving us
down. That's all right. So thanks, gentlemen. I want to talk with Olivia now. So Olivia, you were a freshman playing the role of Polly, and Polly has such depth and such breadth in her story. Talk to us about what it was like for you to go through that process and really find where Polly's story lived.
Yeah, well, coming in to the show, I was 14, which is so crazy to think about now because like now I'm 17. It seems like such a young age, right? Yeah, but like I remember when I found out I got the role, like I was so excited, but I was also like, oh my gosh, like can I actually do this? Can I play a lead in a full musical? Like it's such a, you know, like you said, it's a deep part and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And that, like all of the other leads were seniors and I was like, oh my gosh. But from the moment that I came into rehearsal and I met the cast and everything, I felt like, okay, like I can do this. Everyone was like, thanks, Jack. Everyone was so supportive, and yeah, like I never felt like I was being treated like I was young or anything. And it was the first lead that I had in a full production. Like I went through middle school doing like junior shows and doing ensemble work and stuff like that. But this was my first time like really taking on a part like this, and so it was a big learning experience for me. I spent a lot of time looking through the scenes, thinking about the songs, like these Gershwin classics, and like I knew all the songs going in because they're classics, but really digging into like the meaning behind all of them and the lyrics and the different ballads that Polly gets to sing. Yeah, I think that I really like grew up a lot during this show. Like I came into it as like a little freshman, just starting off high school, and then I came out thinking like, okay, like I can make this a career. Like I can do theater professionally. I want to do theater professionally. Yeah, but I'm just like I'm forever grateful for Crazy for You. I think about the show every day. It was such a I mean it's so special to me because it really was like a turning point in my acting career, and I was like I have to do theater as a life, you know? Like it was the show that told me that like I have to continue this forever.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you know, you feel like you grew up so much during this show. Jack, we saw Jack's comment here just a minute ago in regards to he didn't think that you were a freshman, and one of the things that I really noticed early in the process was the care that you took in telling Polly's story. You mentioned the work that you did with the script, and it was very apparent when you came into a rehearsal that you were prepared and you had thought about where is Polly in this moment, and the questions that you asked, the play that you engaged in during those rehearsals really suggested right away to myself and the rest of the team and the rest of your peers who you're working with that you were ready to climb this mountain, and you climbed it well, and you stood on top as you deserve to after telling the story. So it was a heck of a ride to do that, and actually, as a matter of fact, I want to bring Sean in because there was one thing that both of you were working on together that was a big moment in the choreo for the two of you, which I think we termed the death spin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So talk about this moment.
Wow.
We spent hours and hours and hours doing that number. Like, Shall We Dance was, at least for me, like the hardest choreo in the show by far. I mean, I'd never done partner dance before. You know, it was completely new for me. It's Stroman choreography, original choreography. Yeah, so like Sean and I worked our butts off. Like we worked, so long. Yeah.
We really did. I was like, I was so scared that I was like, we're never gonna be able to do it. I was like, we're not gonna be able to do it. But Olivia is such a good partner, and I will say that until I die, because and it was just I don't know. I don't know. I was like, no, we can do this, because, and then we did, and it was cool. It was really cool.
Do you remember the response you got from the cast the first time that you got that?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was like we had a full run, and the first time that we finally got the spin, and I like stood up afterwards, and I'm freaking out. Everyone's freaking out. Yeah. Oh my, so fun. And Sean was the best partner as well. Like, we always felt like super comfortable around each other. You know, like I feel like that's really important when you're doing these roles, because there has to be a lot of trust. And from the minute I met Sean, like I always felt that. So it was so great. Yeah, I had tan shoes, and they were not tan by the end of the process, but that's okay.
but they live with the memory of Crazy for You now.
They do. That is for sure.
So let's bring out some more of your co-stars here, and let's just freeform talk about some of the stories that came from this show. What are some things that you remember about the rehearsal process, about the show itself? Really no holds barred in this.
I'll go first. I remember the group of guys in that show was like a very unique group. Like we were all so rambunctious, but all the boys became so close in that dressing room, and we had so much fun. And it was just constantly like something was happening in there constantly. And I'll think about that group of people and for a very long time.
How about you, Kira? What are some of the stories that come to mind about this production?
I think the first thing that I always think of when I when I think of this production is the Zangler is child recording. Like the number of times that joke was made throughout the process, because there was the rehearsal recordings of the music, and there was an automated voice that would do some of the line cues. And so we used to listen to this automated voice say Zangler is child all the time. And it was like it's still an ongoing joke. And that's like the first thing that comes to mind with jokes and stories about the show, I think, is that.
Well, one of the stories that I like, or that comes to mind for me, and I also enjoy, is when Patsy has to go to the bathroom.
The chair.
and that chair.
Yeah. Chair over.
Throwing the chair out of the way and running off stage.
Each night it got further and further downstage, I swear.
Which was fun to watch because
when we first
go ahead. Well, yeah, when we first did it.
Yeah, no, when it was first blocked, the chair thing wasn't there, and then you just kept going bigger, bigger, and finally the chair thing happened, and then the chair thing just kept getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, that was a really fun moment. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed the looks on everybody's faces when it happened the first time. The first time that you really threw that. It startled the heck out of
me. Go big or go home.
How about you, Hope?
Well, Paul took mine. I was gonna say Kira's chair thing, but oh my gosh, there's so many little ones. Like one that comes to mind is during I Got Rhythm, the Cowboys had this trick that they were, I think they were like auditioning to do this trick, because I think Caleb ended up doing it, where they jump over the axes, or maybe a few of them did. I have videos still on my phone of like Bryce and like some other people trying to jump over it and then jumping back over it and just completely falling on their butts. We laughed so hard at that stuff. Oh my gosh. I actually did. Yes, Jack, I did. I was in the show a second time before GCPA at a summer community theater. I played Patsy then. I did. I was not as funny as Kira. But yeah. I think I have another one. That was also one of my first shows that I really did a lot of partner dancing, and that's always a great memory, because Bryce and I were at almost all of those rehearsals with Olivia and Sean doing that the Shall We Dance number. That was such a good experience. And then being in Slap That Bass. Oh, yes. Thank you, Stroh. Slap That Bass was so much fun. Jack Vilhard was my partner. 2 tallest people in the cast. It's bound to happen. But yeah, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So many good memories.
Yeah. Alex, go ahead.
So one of my biggest memories, I remember during Stiff Upper Lip, when we were in, I don't think it was as much at CVPA, but we were in the studio and we had those like flimsy black chairs. And I remember people just kept falling through. So like every time we ran the dance, it was like a game show, like, oh, who's going to fall through this time? And it was like, you'd just be doing the dance and someone would just like fall through those chairs. I don't know how many cracks. There was least 3 or 4 now that I remember. And then another memory during I Got Rhythm, the pan line dance thing, the tap dance. I just remember the first time we got that, and it was just really cool experience.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of your stories are coming from the choreo, and it's justified. Like that choreo is legendary. I mean, Stroman did such a wonderful job putting it together, and Stephanie did a great job teaching you from the notes that were given to us from that. So let's continue talking about that choreo. What are some of the other moments from the choreo that really stand out to you as being fun, funny, difficult, that ultimately you learn to love, or maybe you still hate, but we still made it through?
There's the very long section in Sean and I's number where we had to balance chairs on our head. And it took so long to figure out. There it is. We were like, how are we going to do this? Because either Sean would get it or I would fall or vice versa. And so eventually we had like these foam rims like built into the chairs so they would sit so snug on our head and they would not fall even like if you fell over. It would have stuck to my head. Yeah. The wig would have come off first.
Go for it, Hope.
I got one. The in what's it called? Can't Be Bothered Now. Our little we sit on the floor and we do the little butt wiggles backwards. And the baddies go, wake around the day and march away. All the telephone work. It's for you. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Oh, yes, there it is. There it is. Another one of my.
So, Alex, how about yourself? What do you remember?
I was gonna say the percussion part of I Got Rhythm with all the different like random objects. That was one of my favorite parts.
We had plungers. We had a tin roof that people tapped on. We had the axes in that one. There was a washboard, I think.
Mm-hmm. There was an air pump, wasn't there?
There was an air pump. Yep.
Like water and shovels, I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Lori and I were just going through our prop storage earlier this week, and we came across all of those. So Jenna just mentioned the car. Kira, you were talking about the car a minute ago. What was so much fun about that car?
Oh my goodness. Everybody like funneling through it was like, it was just so funny. And I just always enjoyed the idea that we looked like a clown car, just all coming out of it and like doing the little flaps. And that was one of my favorite moments in like the first act, was like all of us coming out of the car and lining up and doing the little hi bobbies, and because it was just so fun. And the costumes were so fun, and I loved that moment a lot. Yeah.
So Bobby, you danced on the car.
I did.
So what was that like the first time you got up there? Because it wasn't until Tech that you were able to get up there.
Yeah, we just had the rehearsal blocks until Tech, and it was. I always think about like the button of just like the, and it was a little scary, like having to just the jump off. I was fine getting on it, tapping around, it was fine, but that jump to the second level to like the hood of the car was always so scary, like, because I don't know, I just thought I was gonna like fall off it or something, but I never did. So it's okay.
You did it well every night, but I absolutely understand that thought, like, because it's a 3 foot by 3 foot square, like you don't miss. So it looked like Bryce and Olivia had some memorabilia from the show, pieces off of the set there. Talk to us about those pieces that you got to keep.
Yeah, so this is the Gay Kitty Theater sign. I think that like I know a lot of people took stuff from this show because we love the show so much. Yeah, but I have this like hanging above my bed in my room. Just because it's like such a great memory and I like having that there.
That strike was out of control, but everything that you took with permission. I'm just putting that out there, making that part of the record. You took it with permission.
Yes.
You don't steal props. Oh yeah, that happened too.
Aww.
So, can anybody tell me what that is called? I still don't, to this day, don't know what that is called.
It's a single stag, isn't it? Right?
Sure.
Some people call it a firebird, don't they? Firebird, single stag.
Okay. I completely believe you and trust you because I have no idea. But that moment. So we were working on strike. I was on the truck, and Bridget was doing that, and my mind just went blank. I can see her face. Photography. Brooke, there it is.
Oh.
Brooke, holy cow. Sorry, Brooke. I love you. And Brooke was taking pictures, like, do it again. Let me take pictures. And I said, well, I can do it. And Lori's standing behind the truck. She's like, Paul, you are going to throw your back out. You are too old to be doing that. And I knew I only had one shot, so I had to make it good. and I'm happy to say I didn't throw my back out. I could still walk the next day. That was a fun moment.
And that picture hangs on the billboard at GCPA.
It does. It does. So Sean, you had a sign there. Which sign was that?
Well, it's the sign of the my cat of oh wait, am I gonna be able to get it all in? It's too big. This is the sign from the Zangler Follies. Can I get it? Wait. There we go. There we are. Woo!
Well done. Good job getting that all the way in because that was a giant sign.
That was quite a task. Just that I didn't anticipate it.
And we were very happy to be able to take that sign down because, as Stephanie said, that sign just did not want to stay on the set.
No, it didn't.
Kept wanting to hop off.
It did.
So Alex, it's been a minute since we've been able to hear from you. What are some things that stand out for you?
Man. Oh, another thing. During Naughty Baby, when there was us four cowboys behind the bar, and we did the dance with Cassie, we would lift her up and do a bunch of different crazy stuff. I remember that group of four, we had a couple dance rehearsals. That was just so much fun.
And again, that was choreo that wasn't very easy because you were lifting her up, you were carrying her around.
Yeah.
I think at one point didn't she fall and you caught her and then you lifted her up?
Yeah. We had to I think off of a box or something. We had to catch her off the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we peeked out from the barn doors at the end.
Yeah. They say, we're done, bye.
Yeah.
We were really here just to carry Cassie.
I mean, it's what we were here for.
So Olivia, we were able to talk about the partnering with Sean, and that piece of the choreo. What's some of the other, because Polly's got so much, what's some of the other choreo that really stood out to you as being fun and or challenging?
Yeah, one of the numbers that I always think about choreographing was stiff upper lip. Like I remember every single rehearsal process we had with that. Every single person tap danced on a chair. Sean and I had a little tap battle on a table. Bridget Molman tapped on point shoes on a table. It was insane. That number was crazy. She literally got special shoes made and taught herself how to tap dance on point for that number. That whole that whole number. It took a long time to put together. There was we built a barricade at the end of it with chairs. Yeah. So rehearsals for that song in particular always stick out to me because they were so much fun, because we were like, this is literally insane and we're having such a blast doing it. Yeah, I think that song for sure is one that's like not like, it's not I Got Rhythm, which is like the 10-minute song, but like the amount of stunts that were in that one song is pretty ridiculous and pretty awesome. So
Yeah, and as that last meme showed, we always have put in a Les Mis reference for most of our shows up through that point, and we were lucky enough that the Les Mis reference was built in.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Bryce, your character made specific reference to Les Mis.
Yeah, I have my note cards around here somewhere, but it was something about like, oh, don't give him the attention that he wants. Don't give Braden that attention. I don't remember what the line was, but it was one of my favorite lines.
And clean this place up. It looks like the French Revolution.
There it is. You should have played the part, Paul.
Oh, I wouldn't have played it half as good as you did, Bryce. Gang, this has been so much fun. Getting to see you all chat about the show, reminisce here. Before we finish, as we do for all of our live events, why is it important that students? Why should students take classes at GCPA, audition for shows at GCPA? And Hope, since you're front and center, let's go ahead and start with you.
Well, this won't be very hard. Oh gosh, obviously we all have so much fun at GCPA, as you can tell through every single one of these live streams. Hi, Mom.
Are you done?
No, I'm still. Sorry guys. We have so much fun on these live streams. You can tell we have so much fun in all of our shows, and through all the stuff we're doing on all the stuff GCPA is doing on social media, they really care about every single person that is involved with them, and they want to stay active in all of their students' lives no matter what, and they're always going to be there for you no matter what you need if you have any questions. And it's just, I mean, everybody always says this and about GCPAs, they are incredible teachers, and starting to teach there myself, being a teaching artist, I have learned so much about myself and being a teacher and being a performer just by teaching classes there and stage managing and seeing how much detail they put into their youth theater company. It's, oh, yes, please. It's going to be fun. Online for June. Got some good ideas. Come on, little kitties. Okay, so yeah. Yes. Thank you for the link. Yes. Anyway, it's Stephanie, you always make me lose my train of thought, even on the internet, but it's okay. Yeah, I mean, they put so much detail in. Their shows are always incredible, but they never put so much pressure on you to be good. But it makes you want. They make you want to work well instead of working so hard. And it's such an amazing experience because I have stage managed so many shows that Alex and Olivia have been in, and I met them in this show in Crazy for You. And I just have so many friendships that I'm going to carry like throughout my entire life, in like the kids and the grown-ups. And it's something that will really leave a mark on your kids in the best ways. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you, Hope. We're so happy that you're still part of the staff. Kira.
Kind of like, I feel like the word that would kind of describe the general experience, what with Hope already said it, but like family, it feel like a group that I could rely on and that I would have dropped anything to do a favor for, and I still would. And like what I really got out of like this specific experience, it was my first show with GCPA. I only did one more after before I went to school, and I really felt prepared by my experiences with GCPA. Like I was early before that this starting GCPA, I had felt way less. I was very school and to start that new experience, and working with GCPA and doing the doing dance classes and doing the shows really with the professionalism of the process and the teachers, I really felt like I was prepared moving on, and like that was something that was really necessary for me to go to school, and like it was really needed, and I got so much out of it. Yeah, go to GCPA. Go to.
Thank you, Kira, and we will always be here for you, no matter where life takes you. GCPA is always going to be here for all of our alums and all of our students, whether they're graduated or not. Thanks, Kira. Oh, the senior T-pose. Sean.
Me. Hi. Wait. CPA was really I learned so much, and I didn't even know how much I learned about acting, about just being a nice person that you want to like work with, and like and just and that having a sense of family and a sense of a safe place where we can just explore art and have fun and create something together, and really like together create it, not just have the adults tell us what to do. Like we really had a sense of community and community, and it was such an important part of my life, and it's hard for me to like picture my life without GCPA. It was very transformative, and I had such a head start at college too. Just that's not for everyone who's going into musical theater, but I learned so much about acting that I didn't even realize, and I was a little ahead of the game, which was wonderful, and I'm just so grateful.
Well, we're grateful that you found us and that you chose to work with us. Thanks so much, Sean.
Thank you.
Alex.
Like what Sean said, with like what you learn, like whether you're planning to go into musical theater or just doing it for fun in high school or grade school, you're going to learn a lot about how to work with other people and like just how to be a good person and different just life skills that are really great to know. And you do become a part of a massive family. Everyone there is amazing, and you can just the first time you go into your rehearsal, you just feel welcomed immediately, and it's a great feeling to be there.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex. Olivia.
Oh my gosh. I love GCPA. I feel like I could talk for hours about all of the amazing things about GCPA and everything that and everything that everyone has said, I completely agree with. And something that I think is like so special about GCPA being a youth company is the professionalism that you will find in these shows. Like, the directors, they take these shows seriously and they want to put out good work and they want really quality training for young actors. And that is something that has been like so special and important to me and like a lot of other people who want to do this professionally and like aren't like want theater that is worth something and that like people are taking seriously. And like the directors pick shows that are going to challenge their actors and are going to push us to our limits in like the kindest and most heartwarming way possible. But yeah, I think that like that is one of the main reasons that I keep coming back to GCPA is because the training is so exceptional. And the people that are doing the training are amazing too, and are so kind and so fun, and like you're gonna meet your best friends here. And yeah, I love GCPA. So
Well, thank you. GCPA loves you too, Olivia.
thank you.
Bryce.
Just like everyone else, like a lot of people have said, this was my first time with GCPA, like a majority of the cast, and just that instant welcoming, and it felt like a second home, like on the first rehearsal, basically. And I'm just so grateful that I found GCPA at the very end of my high school career. I wish I could have had more time with GCPA and I would have discovered it sooner, but those 3 months in that rehearsal room and with all these people are memories that I still think about every day, and it's stuff I'll remember for a lifetime.
Yeah, thank you, Bryce. Gang, it has been an absolute pleasure to get to see you again, to talk with you, and to know that you're staying safe, staying healthy, and continuing to create and continuing to be artists in this time. And gang, Kira, Alex, Hope, Bryce, Olivia, Sean, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Everybody that's out there watching, we look forward to seeing you again next week. We'll be back again on Tuesday night with another cast reunion. Everybody have a great night.